Hello, you beautiful people. This is Conversations in the Clinic. I'm Dr. Kelly. Your knee is the middle child of your body. So many comments on almost everything I post because I just sit down and stand up from the ground all the time. People with bad knees can't do this. What if you have a knee replacement? What if my knees are shot? All kinds of complaints about knees. First of all, go follow Tony Maritato. Total Therapy Solutions. His clinic is in Ohio. He is if I have a question about somebody's knee, I go ask Tony. Go follow him. He is your knee guy. Second, the knee is the middle child of your body, meaning it's often blamed for something that happened above it or below it, right? An older sibling or a younger sibling, your hip or your ankle. If there are limitations in mobility and strength in your hips and your ankles, your knee is probably paying the price for it. You're walking around with knee pain thinking it's your knee that's causing the pain. It's probably not. It's probably coming from above or below it. That's a quote from Dr. Metzel, right? This is the guy whose book I read. My uncle is a patient of his. He's a marathon runner, and I mean Dr. Metzel is just a total badass. And his chapter in there on the knee starts with that sentence. And I read it to a patient last week, and it just reminded me, like, oh, I have to talk about this. So, knee gets blamed often because hips or ankles are limited in their mobility. And that's because we as a society sit in one position for prolonged periods of time. We just do. There's no wonder that we have all kinds of orthopedic problems because we just sit too long. But that I will save for another time. Um, but basically, by sitting in those positions, we compromise the mobility of those joints. And then when we compromise the mobility of those joints, when we need them to do anything, right? Stand, walk, climb stairs, drive for long distances, stand up after we've sat at a movie for a little while, that limited mobility can impact our function. Right? And that's how people end up walking through my door or calling my office line. Um, People say, like, oh, but I just have bad knees, but I just have a bad back, but I just have a bad hip. Listen, probably not. You might think you do. I have seen patients with bad knees and bad backs and bad hips, right? They have either neurological conditions or like congenital conditions that they were born with. That yeah, they got a bad knee, they got a bad back, they got dealt a really crappy hand, and they got a bad joint. Most of us, though, most of our joints are doing the best they can under the crappy conditions that we've put them under for years. And that's not me. That's a guy named Myron Golden, who's he spoke at a conference that I went to, and I started following him on Instagram. And this guy walks with a limp. He has some condition that he was born with, and he has a cane. And he came on and said that. And I was like, oh my god, I love that so much. You don't have a crappy knee. Your knee is doing the best it can under the crappy conditions that you've put it under for such a long time. So think about that, right? And no judgment, no blame. However, now let's do something about it. So this is the world's greatest stretch. I'm going to get up and show you in a second. This is, to me, like the orthopedic equivalent of brushing your teeth. If I could get the whole world to do this for 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, I think we would alleviate a lot of expensive and costly in a lot of ways orthopedic surgeries. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the full version, and then I'll show you ways to modify it. So the full version is where you get down from like a down dog position, and then you kick your left leg up and you bring it to the outside of your left hand, and you hang in this position. Why I love this is we can put our back knee down and we can stretch out the top of our foot. You can leave your toes on the ground and stretch out the bottom of your foot. You can turn and look over at that foot and get a good stretch through your trunk and your sides. You can lift that knee up and you can get a good stretch through the front of your right hip flexor. You can keep it up or put it down, and with your front leg now, keep your heel on the ground and slide your knee over your toes. You can let your heel come up and get good extension of that left great toe and those other toes and flexion of your knee through here. We can windshield wiper that front leg. So let it come out to the side and then back to the middle. If you want, you can walk your hands over and get a little more rotation through there. And then you can keep your right hand planted and reach your left hand up and look, and then reach through and inhale. And it's just kind of nice, right? And then we can stand from that position. And I'm going to show you on a stool. Don't do this on a stool, right? This is going to move. This is dangerous. Do as I say, not as I do. And there's Hanky. Hi, but you can do this at a wall. You can do it at a chair. And it's just the same thing. So your right foot goes out to the outside of your right hand. And then same thing. You can turn and look over that shoulder. You can let that back knee go to the ground and get a good stretch through your left hip. You can windshield wiper the right foot. You can keep the left hand planted and reach up. And like do that at your desk. I don't care where you do it. Just start doing it. And stop blaming your knee for all those problems and start doing something about it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, as always, for spending your energy, your time, your attention, your effort with me today. They are your most valuable assets. Keep moving. Go tell someone you love them, you matter, and keep getting better every day.